Rumble YouTube family, what's good? What's happening? Ironwork 92,000 live and at short notice and with very short time. Family, I just wanted to get with y'all just to kind of address a few things. Yesterday, we discussed what we discussed. We know what the topic was about. Now, today basically is like an addendum to what we discussed yesterday. Yeah. So basically, what I predicted, now the fallout from the Lord Jamar discussion that he had, or the Lord Jamar craziness that he had with Dave over there. Y'all know who it is. Y'all know what it is. And if you're not up to speed with what's going on, I just want to keep you guys informed. I also want you guys to keep your ears and your eyes open because now Professor Dave is on every black, he's starting to get on every black network on YouTube right now. I am serious. And this is like the topic of discussion in I'm not going to call it the Chitlin circuit, you know what I'm saying, because we living in different times, but in black circles in the alternative media right now. So why is this important? This is part of what happens after the final experiment, I feel, in my opinion. This is also something that we discussed yesterday, last night, as far as the division. This is all part of it. Hopefully, Bro Sanchez, if you're watching, if you're listening, or if somebody could get into Bro Sanchez's ear, if I can't, let him know, or let him at least talk on something along these lines tomorrow. I know he's got a lot of people's ears that he's got access to. So I think this is totally something that he should also discuss in full detail. Right now, as we speak, Professor Dave is live. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Okay, that show is still going, right? And it's called, I think the show is called The Community of Skeptics. That show is called The Community of Skeptics. I'm going to bring it up to you guys so everybody could see it. And family, what's good, man? I am definitely not neglecting you. It's good to see you. See Lightning, Lord Racer, Eugene 12, The True Few, Triple X. What's happening, fam? Shifty Shady Eyes, Lord Racer again. Kane West, what's happening again? Damn, 2 days straight. William McLean, CJ, damn, it's been a minute. For Jax and everybody else. Steph McGuire, what's happening, sis? So everybody that's in here, what's good, what's happening? I'm glad to have you guys. I do not want to take up too much of your time as I am on a lunch break right now. And so I don't have the privilege of spending too much time cutting up and making jokes and all that stuff. But I wanted to make this worth your while. And there it is right there. Professor Dave speaking his mind, speaking his truth.
Greater. So it's
And
there.
you know, we're hearing. I'm not gonna. You know, if you want to go there, you're more than welcome to go there. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna leave that link so you can watch it. I don't want to deprive you of that. So there it is, right there. So if you want to make sure you sub to those guys, you give them a like, tell them that you came from here. Alan Nostrum, what's happening, family? It's good to see you, brother. Code Puncher, what's happening, brother? It's good to see you as well. Christopher Allen, what's happening, brother? Mojo Shop, Fake Flip. Flat Fudge, brother, what's good, man? What's good, man? And thanks for joining the show last night, man. I'd love to hear your damn insights on this whole thing. Brother, if you have some time, you know what I'm saying? I'd love to hear and no offense to anybody else, not like I'd really like to hear another black perspective on this whole thing. So Fudge, Flat Earth Fudge, brother, if you could just come on real quick, give us your thoughts and your insights, because just hearing it from me, I don't think that's fair to the people. I think we need to hear it from another perspective, not just mine. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you see these things from a different angle. I see them from where I see them, and it's concerning to me, but at the same time, this is something that I feel needs to be addressed, because this is something that I feel needs to be fixed the right way, with truth. With truth, you can overcome every and anything. And exposure is a good thing. Um, but my concern still is, are we going to take it, and are we going to examine it as a people, or are we going to take it, or are we going to continue kicking the can down the road and saying, yes, it's a ball? I don't know what would make Lord Jamar think such idiotic things. You understand? So yeah, Fudge, Mr. Fudge, Flat Earth Fudge, bro. If you could just jump on in, man, that would yeah, that would be fire. You know what I'm saying? That would be fire. Or anybody else, you know what I'm saying? Come on in. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Sandro, what's happening, brother? It's good to see you, man. Shannon Emerson, another one of my day ones. What's happening, sis? Good to see you. Newman Ryder, what's happening, bro? What's happening? What's happening? So there we are. There we have Professor Dave, Flat Earth Dave, man. Lord have mercy. Yeah, so there you have Professor Dave, you know, doing what he do, and I can't blame him. Saddle Bum, what's happening, brother? It's good to see you. I can't blame him because when the iron is hot, you continue to strike. If I was him, I would take advantage of an opportunity like this to make outreach to to a large community and to discuss my point of view, whether they agree with it or not, because once it hits the airwaves, other people will tend to either gravitate to it or walk away from it, especially somebody like Professor Dave, who claims to be a science communicator. That's what he called himself. He's not a scientist. So you got people like Mark Lamont Hill out there calling him a scientist. He's not a scientist, Mark Lamont Hill. He's a science communicator. So basically, he takes words and converts them into lay speak for folks like for the everyday man, right? So their lies can be easily digestible for us to digest, right? Either way, I'm not going to do all that. I'm not going to sit there and bash Professor Dave, but he's doing what he knows needs to be done, right? He's doing outreach with the black community, which I knew was going to fucking happen. Excuse my language. That's the first cuss. But I knew it was going to happen. And here's what it is, black people. I know you don't want to hear this, but if you are a flat earther, speak your truth. Speak your truth. You need to make a channel, and then we need to get together like Voltron, man. You need to put yourself out there because right now, it's all where you have a community of globe people spewing their lies. They've been wrong about everything. They were wrong about the shot. They were wrong about 9/11. They were wrong about the Liberty. They were wrong about everything. Brenda Debates, you're gonna have to take a back seat on this one. We ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for all that. Fudge, brother, what's happening, man? I'm glad to see you here. Family, this is Flat Out Fudge, new to the channel. Welcome, brother. Welcome. I would love to hear your take and your perspective on this whole thing, please.
Hey, what up, man? What up, everyone? Yeah, I had seen the Mark Lamont thing too. I was like, oh man, I had to comment into the comment section. It was hard to watch. I couldn't even so you could tell they're not even thinking about it. It's going on for their thing that it, without any critical put in place there.
Oh,
It's a bit
Fudge,
annoying, but hey,
you robot in a little bit. Go ahead. Go ahead.
can you hear me now? No, I was talking about the Mark Lamont thing you was
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
That I had seen it, but I couldn't finish it because it was too a bit intolerable because you could tell they just speaking through conditioning and not really putting no critical thought into anything.
Yep. Yep.
It's
And
annoying. And yeah, I can
and
see Dave he's making his rounds now because now they got to expand their horizon with all the BS.
yep. Yep. And this stuff you could have predicted, man, because this is how it works every time. I mean, as soon as they got Lord Jamar, and it's almost like clockwork, I feel, right? After TFE, they were like, all right, how can we further divide the flat earth community? Easiest people to pick apart, black people. You go right to the source. Boom. You hit Lord Jamar. That's like he's not the biggest black flat earther. That's I'd say that's Bro Sanchez. But not nobody really knows who Bro Sanchez is that's outside of the circle. You know what I'm saying? But everybody knows who a Lord Jamar is because a lot of people heard, especially if you're from New York, a lot of people heard about Brand Nubian. You know what I'm saying? That used to be that was part of my childhood growing up. So a lot of people are familiar in these rap circles. A lot more people listen to rap than they are familiar with the flat earth. So then boom, you attack our community. And then you do the outreach like Professor Dave is doing. And he seems convincing. His English is on point. He knows what he's talking about, despite whether they're lies or they're not. Guess what? He crafts it in such a way in where it sounds good. And then here's the thing: a lot of black people don't want to admit it, but a lot of black people don't want to lose face either. As soon as you start pushing back about some stuff that sounds like bullshit, but even if it sounds like bullshit, if it's disguised well enough, a lot of people are going to go with the person that they
Yeah,
feel more
yeah,
comfortable.
yeah. That's why I be talking about it. Like it's conditioned appeal. And the one thing I be stressing a lot that this is a matter of propaganda versus fundamental understanding. Once you have the fundamental understanding, the propaganda is just null and void. But a lot of people just don't have that fundamental understanding. What's their favorite thing to say? I'm not a scientist. It don't take you being a scientist to gain understanding though. Like
That's right.
it's real simple.
Yep. And you want to know something? This is where it's so unfortunate that, and this is how crafty the final experiment was, because you had the top, right, of the flat Earth society. I'm not even going to say society, but the top, cream of the crop of the flat Earth personnel. So you had David Weiss, you have what's her name, Karen B, you have Jaron, you have Austin Whitsitt. So those are like the pillars of what the flat Earth is. So it's almost as if they took those people and those related to those people to the final experiment, made happen what they made happen. The distrust and the mistrust came from us. All these NDEs were signed, so button lipped and
Yeah.
everything.
Now,
They
now on
further,
the
yeah, go ahead.
On the
Mhm.
TFE now, if y'all remember, I was sending a lot of y'all miss. I wasn't rocking with y'all when y'all was doing that. I'm not saying that no one's right or wrong, but the screaming it from a mountaintop, the that is deception and shit. I was saying this a lot. Y'all need to chill, calm down. Whether you're right or wrong, you still need to chill because you're giving ammo to the people making them hit pieces when they try to declare us schizophrenic, paranoid people. Don't do that. Don't give them ammo to use against us. If you feel this way about it, keep it in and just
Mm.
watch them. Watch them.
Yep.
Don't do all that because it wasn't looking good. I wasn't with that, but I could feel where everyone was coming from. But you just should have kept that thing a bit discreet. Kept it in instead of just screaming it out to everyone. Like that wasn't, yeah, y'all shouldn't have did that. But hey, it's done now. Now we just got to
It's
move forward and keep
yeah,
on trying to spread the truth.
that's right. And pretty much that's it. But you want to know what it is, man? A lot of black folks feel stressed enough. And this is why it's important that we speak from it from our perspective. A lot of people didn't like it. I lost a lot of viewers. It is what it is, man. Like, but we have to come from a place of honesty, and we have to touch the points that even though we feel we may not have a chink in the armor, this right here is a chink in the flat earth armor. It's an easy exposed part of the flat earth to the rest of the world. You understand what I'm
Oh,
saying? So
oh yeah, it was a major tactic of propaganda. Once again, more propaganda that's about to be pushed heavily. Like it was a bit of a hit, but that where the fundamental understanding comes in. Because at the end of the day, even with them going there and observing that, there's still what pitch data that has to be factored in. Pitch data is going to tell you things. You still
mhm,
have the matter of they had to fly over this ocean, which if you understand the physics of water, you know that doesn't goddamn bend and not flow. That's impossible. So
mhm.
it's a matter of that propaganda versus fundamental understanding, and everybody's just keep on surrendering their ability to think to all these quote unquote experts that's been placed into society to be the authority figures to everyone's eyes.
Yes. Yes. And part of what you said, don't be surprised. Don't nobody be surprised if who do you see next? Tyson. Tyson. What's his name? The scientist with
Oh
Blackula.
yeah, Neil deGrasse
Neil.
Tyson. Yeah, he gonna go.
Yeah.
He gonna do his take on that. What it is, Star Talk. He do. You know he gonna
Yep.
bring that up, and it's probably gonna get 1 million views. It's gonna be
Thank
all
you.
bullshit, but ain't nobody
Thank
gonna know because he's the scientist that they all supposed to trust.
and
It's
yes.
annoying, man.
Yes, he's a scientist that they trust, and they're gonna dress him up. They dress up the black dude, send him out there, and then you want to know what everybody's gonna say? Black people ain't gonna lie to nobody like that. That's what everybody else does. Black people don't do that. They've been through enough. Why would they lie to everybody? That's
Exactly, and
and
that's what these.
It's fucked up.
Mm,
It's
yeah,
mad fucked up. But that's
yeah,
how they get us every fucking time. And those
yeah.
that
Because
don't know,
these wicked, the wicked. That's why I like to refer to them as the wicked. They are relentless. So they're gonna use the emotion. They're gonna play on the emotion. There is no boundary with how they're gonna get their success across. Like they're gonna do whatever it takes. If that murdering a child on a spaceship, they'll do it. They don't
Mhm.
care. They're gonna make it happen. That's why you have to become a bit more. People got to become a bit more emotional and intelligent so they can see through all that bullshit and not get so caught up. But this happened, but that happened. No, man. What is the actual science saying? Forget all of the who's involved and all that. What does the actual science say? Is it contradicting laws of nature? Once it starts contradicting laws of nature, there is a problem right there. There ain't nothing to be ignored. I stress this a lot. Water is the final boss. Water is the final boss. But people
that's
don't
it.
understand that. They just skip over that and deflect the fact that water always lies level and is gonna run. They trying to put us in a situation where we not believe that water doesn't run. Because if
Okay.
you look at the depiction of the globe that they give us, how the land masses are oriented with the bodies of water, that water, it should be tsunamis on certain parts of land on this goddamn globe if we're on the globe, but that shit don't happen. I
Mm.
can get their sentiment of this gravity, though I don't believe in that shit, that the gravity holds the water to the earth, but it doesn't stop it from running though. So what we
Mm.
talking about?
Yep. And Professor Dave, even when Lord Jamar was asking him, so a ball spinning, he's like, yeah, the ball spins, but the gravity keeps it in instead of it's getting shot out the equator. It's like, well, you're going to have to account for that. And now you're also going to have to account for this big, giant ocean that I'm next to and how flat it is and why I could see as far as I can. Now you have to account for that as well because I see too far, right? And just like you said, man, it is the final boss. It's the only boss. We shouldn't even have to get outside of that. I honestly believe we should stick to it because you know what? Fine, let's not be the experts, but we're honest, right? We're honest, and all we require is honest answers. Here's the thing: we know we're not going to get that from people like Professor Dave. We know we're not going to get that from Neil deGrasse Tyson. They have an agenda to push, right? But here's the thing: when you come to these channels like the community skeptic or whatever it is, right? Black channels like that, you have to just present to them the truth. Let them figure the rest out. Let them figure the rest out because it's bad enough that us as a people, we fall for this stuff. Like we good at calling stuff out. We real good at calling stuff out. But the stuff that needs to be called out, we think there's no time for that. No, we ain't got time for that. Nah, it doesn't mean nothing. I'm wasting my time. It's like, no, it is part of our community. Here's the thing, it's part of our community. It helps us to do something that one of the things that we have issue with, that's understanding who we are. Let me tell you something about the black community, especially from my perspective. Me growing up, I used to have to do a project every year or so, right? I remember the first time I had to do it, I was in the fourth grade. My teacher asked us, okay, all right, guys, I want to see you bring in your family crest. I said, "What a family crest? What's that?" I thought she's talking about like something from the bathroom, like a toothpaste or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Crest, Colgate. I didn't know. Look, I
Yeah.
didn't know. I didn't know what it was, right? And so I
Uh-huh.
went home, and then my parents was like, "Where's your homework?" I was like, I need a family crest." They were like, "Family crest." I was like, "Yeah, like a coat." And then when she kept saying coat of arms, family crest, coat of arms, and I was going to bring a jack. Man, look, I had a very simple mind growing up. I was going to bring one of my I had a triple fat goose. You know what I'm saying? Them things with the down feathers, big fat jacket. I was going to bring that in, and then I was going to show it off. Be like, here goes like my coat. I wasn't going to bring my parents' coat because it's cold and they got to do their thing. And so that my parents were
Yeah.
like, "You don't have no family crest. No, you don't have that." And then they started my parents are from Haiti, right? And
Uh-huh.
we obviously we are the descendants of slaves, right? Haitian slaves. And apparently, Haitian big shots that were part of the revolution. That I need to know a little bit more. But there were some big shots down there that were involved in the revolution and everything else, right? So I'm happy. I'm glad that I know that we were part of a rebellion, right? A successful one to a degree. But at the same time, I don't know who they are. I don't have something really to show for it, like a family crest. So this is when I learned about it. This is something that I feel many of us as Black folks, uh, like we want something like that, because even though like we're starting to gel, especially foundational Black Americans are starting to gel, and they're starting to come into who they are, which I think is necessary, which I feel is phenomenal. But wouldn't it be better, don't you think, if we knew, where we were from, if we knew, oh, for 1,000 years I know this is the village that I was in. You know what I'm saying? Instead of having to prick your blood and have a 23andMe do that to you. Now you become
Yeah,
part
which
of.
is bull crap.
Thank you. So it's like, yo, I would love to know where it is that I'm from. The flat earth could help us do that. To some degree, the flat earth could help us establish that. But Black folks, a lot of us don't see the value in understanding why the flat earth is so important, or why it's
Yeah,
necessary to know the truth about this place,
yeah.
right? But
Now, unfortunately, unfortunately, with the us, our quote unquote Black folks, given my experience with going on these predominantly Black platforms, the Black folks they can be a bit arrogant and stubborn, and they have a short attention span, so you can't really explain too well. So it's gonna be a bit of a challenge. I guess it would have to be a situation where they would have to see it themselves, but they already go ahead and forfeit that ability to see over to the quote unquote expert. So it's gonna be real difficult. They have to come to it themselves. I know one thing though, like if you ask someone, have they ever walked up on a situation where water is supposed to be flowing, but it just happened to just be staying in place? No one can answer honestly. Yes, they walked up on it. No one's seen it. This is a fact. So I don't. It's a hell of a dilemma in a dynamic of confusion that we find ourselves in. I would
I
say.
I agree. And what makes it so bizarre, Fudge, is like the other day I was on one of those channels that you're talking about, right? And I said, if you were just born, which obviously you are, um, if you were born and you didn't know about anything of the globe, what would you establish this place as? You know what they said? You know what they said to me in that channel? With their hand up to the Lord. You know what they said to me? They said, "Oh,
What
we'd establish it as turning, as moving and rotating." I'm like, "What? And curved." I said, "Oh my God." I said, "The brainwashing is real." I said,
oh
"No,
yeah.
you wouldn't." I said, "There's no way in hell you would." I said, "Nobody would. Nobody does that. Even NASA doesn't do that. You're crazy right now." You know what I'm saying? But here's the
hmm
thing. This is where
They
that
can't see it.
they can't see it, man. And I was telling one of my friends, it's that validation. Unfortunately, I gotta say it. It's a hard thing to say, but it's the truth. A lot of times it's validation from everybody outside our community, and it's validation from white people that they feel they need in order to feel like they made it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think one of the most important things to understand that a lot of people may not understand is that when you describe the flat earth from a Black perspective, and yes, there is a difference. You're already, as a Black person in America, you're already scrutinized for everything. You just are. Just you don't have to believe it, but if you Black, you know what the hell I'm talking about. You scrutinize for everything. So now you couple that with the fact that you're already against the grain being Black. You couple that now with the fact that now you a flat earther, you totally disregard all the BS that you've been taught, and now you come in with something new to, well, not
Yeah,
even that new, but something different that people ain't used to. Now you really going against the grain, and you're
yeah,
really putting yourself under some serious scrutiny, to where now white people are going to say, "Oh, you are dumb," or people in general will say that, and other
yeah,
Black
yeah. And
folks, unless they have balls, they're going to back away from you. They're going to be like, I don't know you. You're crazy flat earther. Doesn't matter what kind of evidence you present to them. They don't want any of that because they're like, look, I've already had to deal with the with being black. That's enough for me. That's enough stress on my mind. I don't have to add to it the flat earth. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
and
brother.
then it's the matter of the push narrative that by genetics, black people have a lower IQ, which I beg to differ because I don't
Mm,
feel I got a low IQ.
yep.
And along with, let me see, now, like you said, going against the grain, they all automatically coming into the gate feel like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about because who were you, right?
Mm,
So it don't matter how many facts you spew to them, undeniable, irrefutable facts, it just gets denied automatically by default, and
yep.
it's kind of like it's not right. It's really not. But hey,
It ain't. It ain't. And for all the things that we've achieved as a people, I feel. But and like a lot of us had to get it out the mud, man. And it was hard for many of us. I'm not saying it was hard for me, right? I've had my own struggles and stuff like that, but I'll be honest, like flat out racism, it wasn't like I see people that had to deal with it. So I'm not going to come out my face and say I had to deal with it like other people. I didn't. Have I had my own struggles? Absolutely. I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? But there are
yeah,
many
I
other
had.
you know
I was
what I'm
about to say,
talking about.
yeah, I haven't had bad. I mean, it's been many times where I got pulled over by the police and they just give me a warning because see, I like to transmute energy, what I like to call it. So I'm a mold some negative shit into positive. But the one
Mhm.
thing that I have experienced though, as a black person, you can't make one little mistake or you're gonna be deemed incompetent. If absolutely just one little mistake, but I can see the other races they can make a mistake and maintain their brilliance. I've
Yeah.
always had a pet peeve for that shit. That shit is
Yeah.
so annoying to me.
That's true. That's true. And then we're the last people that people come to in public for any advice, for any type of information. But it's basically like once everything falls apart, then people are like, let's talk to the black people what they think. It's like nobody wants to hear what the fuck we got to say about nothing because everything we got to say is irrelevant. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's crazy. It's fucked up, but it's the truth. Nobody looks at our elders the way we look at our elders. Whereas everybody looks to white folks for approval. Everybody looks to white folks for wisdom. Everybody looks to this one, white folks for this, white folks for that. And then we have our elders here. We've got, them, right? Your grandfather, my grandfather, your father, my father, right? We have the same thing everybody else got. In some respects, we would think they're better, right? Because they got a little bit of flavor to them that we could learn from, right? But a lot of people don't see that, and that we put on the back burner. And so I feel that because of that, that's another reason added on to everything else that I mentioned. Black people don't want nothing to do with no flat earth, a lot of them. But for those that do, there's such a grand prize when you realize what this place is, how much it opens your eyes and everything that you're exposed to, and just the amount of understanding and comprehension that falls into your lap, that at one point everything seemed gray and understanding was, it just did, things just didn't make sense. When you see this for what it is, a lot more things begin to gel and they begin to make sense. And what you once thought was solid fact, now you're not so sure anymore. So
Yeah,
even
the
our
one
yeah, so even our
I was
own
about to say,
paradigm as black folks, like there's certain aspects to what we were taught, we need to start asking different questions instead of the same
yeah,
old stuff we've been asking. Go ahead, brother.
yeah, the biggest problem is that a lot of what it seems to me is a lot of black people have been coerced into believing that material things bring a lot of value, so they have this great belief in money and all that material stuff. So they have no interest in cosmology or anything like spiritual for real, to try to even begin asking the right questions because they think things are already been figured out due to all the conditioning. So all they need to do is make money. That's why, unfortunately, I've seen a whole bunch of like a lot black creators that's on the other side. They do a lot of things as though they're giving knowledge, but it's just all seems like a bunch of scammy things to me. A bunch of
Yep.
scamming because their biggest concern is making money as they say, quote unquote, securing the bag and all that type of shit.
Yep.
And that was caused the big problem. They don't have no true interest in gaining actual knowledge. They only want the things that make them feel good. And I learned a long time ago because I was very strongly interested in learning psychology and spirituality before I came to Flat Earth. That's why when I came into it, it was
Mhm.
easy for me to see it because I already had got on the boat to
You
sail
had
off
that
from.
you
Oh,
had that
all this
strong
shit, yeah,
foundation.
yeah, all this shit. These motherfuckers lying about everything. Why not this? Now look at it because I first seen the damn 200 proof the Earth not spinning ball and everything that was being said, I couldn't refute. So I had to be honest, have some intellectual integrity. Like, damn, maybe this shit is real. And then when I started looking at shit for myself outside, I'm like, oh my God. And I started thinking about the actual fundamental understanding of the thing. I'm like, oh my goodness, here we go.
Yep.
This is what it is. But a lot of people, they main concern is money. We
Yeah.
need to
Yeah.
get that money,
Yeah.
secure that bag.
Yep. And you
So they
know
don't
what's
care
sad
about
about
nothing else.
that, man? You know what's so sad about that is how I know how spiritual we are as a people and how powerful understanding what the spirit can do and understanding things like the power of prayer and things like humbling yourself. You understand what I'm saying? And things like submitting to a higher power. How important and valuable that is. That now that we're starting to change and we're evolving into something different, and it's almost like we're losing our power because now we want to try and become something that we don't have no business trying to be. We have no business being liars. That goes for everybody, but especially as black people. Because like honestly, I don't feel it's in anybody's nature, but as black people, especially for all the things we had to deal with and just how we operate, like we have no business involving ourselves in lies. You understand what I'm saying? Because I feel that it changes our nature and for in a bad way. I feel it harms us just
Yeah,
dealing
that's
and
what.
involving ourselves and changing who we are just to appease a
Yeah,
certain people, just to get, like you said, get the bag, make money. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And
That's why.
it's
That's why I
really falling
strongly.
short.
Yeah, that's why I strongly believe and advocate for ascension because once you're on the path of ascension, it's gonna naturally, by default, make you a more um a more humble and better person because that's like if you think because I'm not a religious person, but I am very aware that there is a creator, there's a divine intelligence over this. It has to be because that would be retarded to think that something come from nothing. But
Mhm.
once you try to align yourself with that, you're naturally just gonna become better, and you're gonna naturally become more thoughtful. And that's in the sense of the Christian religion to making it into heaven, you have to be good. But at the same token, that's basically like getting on the path of ascension to be more Christ-like. So once you get on that road, everything starts to open up for you way more when
Yeah.
you accept that Christ energy into yourself and stop deflecting from it to try to go with the worldly things like most people are doing right now.
Yep. Yep. Totally feel that way, man. I'm gonna have to cut it here in a little bit, but your final thoughts, brother?
Shit, it's all been said. I don't really have any right now, but it's you cutting at the first time because I had to get back to work in a few minutes.
Same here.
It
I
was
gotta
nice.
get
It
back
was nice
to
talking to you, man.
Yeah, family, I really appreciate you being here, man. Thank you very much. So, fam, that's our time. I really appreciate you guys spending this time with us, man, and discussing what's to come. You understand what I'm saying? And like take a look, take a look anywhere on YouTube, take a look anywhere on Rumble. Um, take a look because like this is just gonna get crazier and crazier. And those of us in the community, in the black community, especially, like you're gonna see it. You're going to see it. And if you're a flat earther and you're black, you're going to get called out. You're going to get associated with the craziness that just happened between Lord J and Professor Dave. But here's the thing. You have nothing, you shouldn't have anything to worry about. Stand on your square, continue to be honest, continue to provide the truth. You don't have any place to go, really. You just talk about the water. Talk about why the water's not doing what they claim it is, and ask the simple question. Though it's a rhetorical question, show me where's this curve at everybody's talking about. Please show it to me. I know it's easy to say that we don't have to be crazy and rah about it, because sometimes I do. I did it yesterday, right? I got a little bit crazy, but you just be passive about it. You know what I'm saying? Be passive about it. Show me where this curve is. That's all you need to do. Just show me where the curve's at. That's all I'm asking for. You know what I'm saying? All the other stuff is extra credit. Don't count for nothing. If they can't explain what this water's doing, if they can't explain why we see too far, it's flat. That's all it is, baby. It's flat. And that's all I got, family. I wish you guys nothing but the best, 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 best. I'll be joining everybody on Flat Earth Friday or whatever else that's coming down the pike. You know how I do these days, man. If it's hot, it's hot. And if it's not, it's not. But I wish you guys nothing but the best, family. I got to get back to work. Health, wealth, love, joy, prosperity. Most of all, wisdom, wisdom, wisdom. Family, yo, keep pushing. Keep stressing the flat earth, man. We have nothing but the truth on our side, and we will win. I love you. I'm out. Peace, family.